Hey, how's it going? You've probably been wondering, where's the COA content been? And I'm here to tell you, it's right here. This close. Intimate. Between you and me. Conquest of Azeroth.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Gospel here with Weird Gaming Adventure, and today we're back with the Conquest of Azeroth content. This time covering the level 30 Reaper, which is a class I've wanted to have at 30 for so long, but, you know, I'm kind of busy and I do stuff and I'm, you know, making YouTube videos and all that. So we're going to go over this. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so let's talk about it. First off, we're going to talk about these skills, and then I'm going to show off these skills. Now, I don't have very good gear, so I don't think a PvP right now is a good representation. So I'm going to show them off in PvE. But let me talk about these skills right quick. So we got Crimson Pact. This is what you start off level 1. It's 29 mana, 30-yard range, instant cast. Empowers nearby allies, increasing their stamina by 10% for 30 minutes, right? So boom, you just cast it. It's not a big deal. It's easy to do. Then you got Reap. 41 mana, melee range, instant cast. You strike the target for normalized weapon damage plus 34 and restoring 5% of your maximum health. The second use of this ability will deal an additional 50% weapon damage to nearby enemies. The third use will grant you 1 reaped soul in addition to the previous effect. Now, this has like only the GCD to deal with, so it's basically a 1-second cooldown. So you can just spam this over and over and over again. Then you've got, actually maybe I should talk about a passive. Let's talk about a passive. Soul Harvester. Whenever you deal direct damage to an enemy, they are marked for 10 seconds. If they die during this period, all of your allies within 20 yards of them will harvest a piece of their soul to gain 300% increased mana regeneration for 10 seconds. In addition, your maximum mana is increased 30% at all times, which is pretty lit because you will use quite a bit of mana on this class. Which, if you're going to use mana, let's talk about this next skill. Murder. 40-yard range is an instant cast, 10-second cooldown. Send a soul crow to descend upon an enemy target, dealing 117 to 134 shadow damage and restoring 10% of your maximum mana. So you'll be spamming this pretty often. Pretty much off cooldown I use it, I think, just to get mana back. Then we got this Withering Touch. You touch a ghostly finger onto the target enemy, reducing all damage they deal by 90% for 3 seconds. This ability does not work against targets immune to stun effects. Yeah, so this is pretty good. I use it in PvP, and it seems to really demotivate people when I was leveling up. It was a pretty cool ability. Then you got Shudder Scythe, 71 mana, melee range, channeled, 20-second cooldown. You deliver 5 swift attacks with both weapons to the target enemy over half a second with each strike, restoring 1% of your maximum health and dealing 60% weapon damage. Soul Infusion delivers 10 strikes over 1 second instead. So we've got this Soul Infusion. I don't think I've got a passive for it, so I'm just actually going to show you guys what it does. So you see this purple stuff around me? It means I'm soul infused. That's because I've got 3 Reap Souls. Like, I'll go over here and I'll tap this mob. Hold on, giving me a sec. Okay, there we go. We got the Soul Infusions. You can see that on the screen there. And then if I use Shudder, well, I'll show Shudder off. But basically, you have to have 3 stacks of these Reap Souls, and that'll give you Soul Infusion, and that's what modifies that ability. And I'm sure there's more coming in the future, more Soul Infusion type skills. Then we get Jailer of Souls. Instant cast, increase all threat generated by your shadow damage effects and physical damage effects by 60%, and the threat generated by the area of effect damage of your Reap ability by a further 150%. In addition, your parry rating is increased by 40% of your agility, and your successful parries will generate a Reaped Soul. Reduces all damage dealt by 8%. So it's just, you know, damage reduction. There's no animation for putting it on. You can just take it off. It's not a big deal. Up to you if you want to use this or not. Seems good though. We got Ghost Claw. I actually really like this ability. It says Ghost Claw, 71 mana, 20-yard range, instant cast, 1-minute cooldown. Chill an enemy target with a ghostly... Well, okay then. All right, where was I? Apparently, Liquid summoned like 1 million of something. So when you summon 1 million of something, the server tends to go down. Anyways, So I think I was talking about Ghost Claw. So 71 mana, 20-yard range, instant cast, 1 minute cooldown. Chill an enemy target with a Ghostly Claw, stealing 40% of their movement speed for 10 seconds. I love this ability because it steals their movement speed. So it slows them while giving you a boost, allowing you to catch your targets. And it's pretty slick. I like it a lot. All right, so let's talk about next. I guess we'll talk about Dirge next. Melee range, instant cast, 5-second cooldown. It requires dual wielding and one-handed weapons. So, you know, you kind of gotta do that. Or I guess you don't have to dual wield them, at least. Oh, yeah, it says only usable while dual wielding. Also costs 5% of your maximum health. It says you strike the target with your weapon, dealing 220% weapon damage, generates 1 reaped soul. So it's a pretty good ability. Solid. 5-second cooldown though, so that's but you get Soul Shock. 95 mana, 40-yard range, 2-second cast, 6-second cooldown. I'm actually surprised the cooldown's so low. Says you devour the target's soul, turning them into a husk for 30 seconds. While this effect persists, the target will be unable to move or act, but any damage done to them will restore their consciousness, which means break the CC. Your first attack against the husk will deal 100% increased damage. This effect counts as a sleep effect, which is cool. So this is a pretty good ability. I've been using this. It's nice. Then you get Lament. 40-yard range, instant cast, 5-second cooldown. You unleash a twisted torrent of darkness upon the target enemy, dealing 155 to 192 shadow damage. Consumes 1 reaped soul. So it's not soul infusion where you need 3 reaped souls. Just takes 1 of your reaped souls that you currently have. Let's talk about Underwalk, not shift. You need dual wielding for this as well. It says you leave the physical form, allowing you to sneak around as a spirit, reducing your movement speed by 60%. Now I'm supposed to have an ability with this called shift, but I don't, unless I'm blind, I don't see it anywhere in my spell book. Because basically what you're supposed to do is you use it, right? Watch carefully. I'm gonna pop forward a few meters here. Boom. I moved forward a little bit, and you're stealthed. Everything looks kind of cool, right? You're in like the spirit realm, which is pretty neat, and then you can come out of it. But there's supposed to be an ability with a very short cooldown called shift that moves you forward like 8 to 10 meters or something like that. I'm bugged right now, I guess. If that, I don't know. I haven't seen it on my character. So I haven't, you know, I've heard other Reapers have it or something, but yeah, it allows you to move forward. That's basically how you would move forward in stealth. And then before I get to the last 2 abilities that I'm really, that's like making the class for me, let's talk about Writhe. 15-yard range, instant cast, 8-second cooldown. You use blood magic to inflict immense pain on an enemy target, taunting them to attack you and reducing their attack speed by 35% for 5 seconds. So it has a use outside of PVE. You can, you know, slow your opponent's attack speed, which is nice. And then we've got Blood Siphon, 77 mana, instant cast, 30-second cooldown. It says, steals 74 to 87 health from all enemies in a 20-yard cone in front of the caster. Each enemy affected by this spell takes 50% reduced healing from all sources for 5 seconds. That is huge. It's sustain, and it keeps, you know, if you've got a target focus, it keeps them from, you know, necessarily surviving. I mean, it's a big heal debuff for 5 seconds. So, you know, if you got your team coordinated, you could really spike someone down and their healer can't do anything about it. And then this ability, which I think is cool, if any of you have played Kayn in League of Legends, it's pretty much Kayn Ultimate. Possess, 40-yard range. It says channeled, although I'm going to show you how it actually is. It's not as channeled as you think. 3-minute cooldown. Your soul possesses a target enemy for 1.5 seconds, slowing their movement speed by 60%. At the end of the duration, you will erupt from the target, dealing 183 to 193 shadow damage to them and granting you a reaped soul. While possessing an enemy, your physical body cannot be attacked. So, let me begin to show you how this is cool. So you see how that's like way far away from me? Let's see. Let's get to where it's out of range. Now it's in range. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and reap this. Not reap this. We're gonna possess this. Oh, I'm there, and I'm out now. I'm out, and I can get these reap souls. It's so cool. I love that ability. It's a 3-minute cooldown, unfortunately, but it's a very, very fun skill, very good gap closer. You're invulnerable for 1.5 seconds. I could see people potentially, if they think like a big hit is coming, their body will take the hit and they'll take no damage because they, you know, reaped. You can get some more souls here. You can use the mana generator. It doesn't have a very fancy animation, but it does have its own animation. You kill some dogs, no big deal. I know of a famous doctor that killed some dogs recently, and man, it was pretty wild. Anyways, next mob. So here we can use Soul Shock, and then we'll use Dirge on it. Soul Shock. Now it takes 100% increased damage from us, and we'll just use Dirge. Boom, for 307 without even critting, which is pretty nice, not gonna lie. Pretty big damage you can pump out with the Reaper. We can use the the Ghost Claw on this hyena here. It's slower, faster. I like that. Now I'm missing some health, so we'll go ahead and use Blood Siphon. Now notice how it healed me for 214. I guess the tooltip is wrong, or maybe it just has a set amount it heals you. I don't know, but it definitely heals for way more than the damage it does, which is, in my opinion, actually kind of cool because I like that. Here we have Lament. Use Lament. It's just a shot, range shot. Feels pretty good. You got a couple range attacks, which are nice. You can stack up for them souls. And then we'll use Shutter Scythe on our next target here. That way we're not just like, I'm not just wasting the full animation on like something that's about to die. So la-di-da-di-da, we're just walking up. What's up, hyena? I'm gonna Shutter Scythe you. And this is gonna look kind of cool. Watch, don't blink. And there you have it. It heals you for a bunch. You do a bunch of damage with the soul infusion with 3 souls reaped. And yeah, it feels really, really nice. I believe that's it for today's video. I think I showed off pretty much everything. And the server went down because in the middle of this recording, which was all right. Hey, by the way, I'm streaming on the Weird Gaming Adventure channel, so if you guys want to hop on in and say hello. Also, we've enabled memberships, so you can join and support the channel if you'd like. Small content creators for MMOs. Yeah, anyways, this is Conquest of Azeroth. I'm Gospel with Weird Gaming Adventure, and I am out. Catch y'all later. Peace!